anybody can hear me now. Say the spin switch to the controller, and I can see myself talking in the PSN party, so it should be okay. I am by myself, so it might be a little bit louder than the game sound, but I am not talking, apparently, which is absolutely brilliant. Apologies if you've seen a blue screen, but now we're coming through the left-hander of turn number 19 on board with Montana. It looks like a good lap so far on board with him. Vaporizer, Cucumber, Montana coming in the top 3 now. They're onto the line, and it's Vaporizer that goes out on top by 1/10 of a second in the end. Fantastic lap from him. Montana there settling for 3rd position. Fell a little bit by the wayside on the first sector. It'd be interesting to see how the times split in the first sector especially. But Vaporizer there out on top. And hopefully you can hear me now. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe a loose lead or something on my end. But Vaporizer taking the win for one-shot qualifying. Going into the sprint. Cucumber there in 2nd. Montana there in 3rd. Then Nathan there in 4th. Campbell there in 5th with Verstappen in 6th, 3 Crown in 7th, Spine in 8th, Slash in 9th and Pease run off the top 10. And then it is up there in 11th, Felipe in 12th, Matthias there in 13th, no time set on the board for him. Frico and Gary disqualified from the session as well, 14th and 15th, both invalidating their lap times. Probably, I'm assuming, around turn 9, coming through that tricky part of the lap in the first sector. But we are now getting going into the race, into the sprint. 10 laps worth of racing around here, and hopefully it's going to be a dry start as well. And it is indeed. It looks actually that we're getting it on realistic in terms of the or official in terms of the tyres, so it is going to be a little bit towards the dusk sort of period here in Austin, Texas. So hopefully it's going to be very nice to see, and hopefully we do get some really good racing out on track with 15 drivers about to do battle around here at the Circuit of the Americas. Let me know in the comment section who you are predicting for this race win. Please let me know, because otherwise I'll be very lonely in the commentary box by myself. But we should see, hopefully, well, we won't see a 30-second timer come up for the sprint, but we should see the formation lap begin very soon indeed for the sprint. Remember, formation lap is on in League of Europe, and now we're getting going for the formation lap. Now go on to the grid, and it is light down where we go for the sprint, but of course it is on their formation lap as Vaporizer, Cucumber and Montana all opting for the set of medium compound tyres. Izzat being the only one, clearly didn't listen to me at the start of this stream. Izzat being there in 11th position, the only one on a set of soft compound tyres. Now remember what I said at the start of the stream, or if you didn't hear me, I will repeat myself. They were at about 6-7% average per lap around here, the set of softs. It's about 4-5% on the first lap, then when you get into your rhythm, when you go in a flat out speed on the second lap, it's about 6-7% from there per lap. So the softs really do wear out. They only last about 5 or 6 laps before they're sliding completely off the cuff and completely off the cliff for Izzat. So hopefully he can get those tyres to the end of the race. He will be the quickest man in the short term, certainly for the first 3 or 4 laps, but everyone else in that set of mediums I think has chosen the right strategy. I think the medium compound tyre certainly wants to be around, and as I mentioned earlier on, I did a little bit of practice on the softs around here in the sprint and in the mediums, and I found the mediums were better out on track as well. So it's good to see that they are following a B-Tech James Head right here, as Nathan there cutting the corner in the background. But Vaporizer out on top, and Cucumber second, Montana there in third in terms of the sprint. Be interesting to see how Cucumber can do after his 2 wins from Canada and indeed Bahrain 2 weeks ago. Montana there in third. Be interesting to see if he can get back to winning ways as well after a disappointing finish there in Canada. Very, very unlucky, I think, with a safety car in that race towards the later stages of that race. So that's why he is there. Still in the championship lead, but it's only 17 points coming into tonight between himself and Cucumber. And look where they are on the grid. They're second and third. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they get on out on track, as my lamp is flickering, which indicates to me that a power cut may be imminent. I hope it's not, because that was a little bit strange, unless I was just my eyesight completely gone. But if we do go black screen completely, I apologise, but there was a little bit of a blinking light there. Hopefully it will not affect the sprint or the feature. And here we go, we're going to go on board then with Cucumber for this race start, try and get a better camera angle off the start. It is a terrible camera angle that we are seeing, and I'm flicking through the grid and I still can't get a better camera angle, so I'm going forward with Cucumber for this race start. 5 red lights now on in the gantry here in America for the sprint, and it is lights out, away we go, and Cucumber gets a very good start. Vaporizer alongside him as well. Montana will try and thread the eye of the needle between them both, but Vaporizer I think will just lead in towards turn 1. There's a dive to the inside line, I think by Spine on the back of Sweet Crown in towards turn 1. The Aston Martin actually getting punished there, down into 11th position early on, but Vaporizer there leading the way. Cucumber in second, Montana in third as they cascade their way through the S section for the first time. The side by side between Spine and Peas in the background. Is had a good start on that side of soft. He's up into 9th position at the end of the first sector. But Vaporizer leading the way from Cucumber in second, Montana there in third, Nathan there in fourth, Campbell there in fifth. The interval timings will fix themselves on the left-hand side. We could see a move from Nathan on the back of Montana. We're definitely seeing a move from Isaac to the inside line, maybe even on the back of Verstappen in towards turn number 11 there. Now onto the back straight, and now Montana has had a poor exit, and Nathan now is running side by side, again with a little bit of glitching and my lamp beginning to flicker. Hopefully it's just the light bulb that is flickering rather than the power. Vaporizer leading the way, Cucumber there in second, Nathan there in third, Montana there in fourth, and Montana has dropped the position because Nathan gets the job done through into third. Very nicely done indeed. Campbell there in fifth with Sweet Crown in sixth, then Verstappen, Izzat, then Slash there in ninth, and Slash trying to go to the inside line. Beautiful for looking Ferrari livery, by the way, the good old Las Vegas livery that they're running in the game nowadays, the similar to the Marlboro livery back in the day as well. But Vaporizer leads at the end of lap 1. It's all fair and nothing more at the front end of the field. The Canadian Cucumber there in second, Nathan there in third, as we now come to the left-hander of turn 20 for the first time. Again, interval timings will fix themselves as we go through. Might just be that they're catching up on each other. Cucumber looks the inside line on the back of Vaporizer there, not getting the job done. Nathan there in third, Montana there in fourth. Montana a little bit wide actually, coming through turn number 1. Might be under pressure from the back of the Scotsman Campbell. Campbell, of course, won the championship last season here in Division 1. How the great have fallen since then. He's there in 5th position here out on track so far, and is trying to attack the back there of Montana. About 2.5 tenths covering through that first sector between them both. DRS, of course, will be enabled next lap around. You can see drivers already. Vaporizer on 73%, Cucumber on 86%, and Nathan on 67% in towards turn number 11. Interesting to see drivers actually maintaining that ERS at the first part of the lap. As speaking of which, Cucumber with the eyes literally gleaming with that sun in your eyes, coming down the straight now in towards turn number 12. Going to try and get the job done to the inside line, but he's not quite close enough. Nathan and Montana remain as they are as well. As P's making a move on Spine. Yes, he is. The inside line, job done by the Haas, and he's through and he's into 10th. Spine will try and fight that back. Izzat, by the way, has only made 3 positions off the start. He qualified 11th, remember, on that sort of soft compound tyre, and he's only gained 3 positions off the start. So the softs might be working as a better tyre now, but already you can see the tyre's already beginning to get towards that point, 6-7% wear per lap. Izzat already feeling the effect of that right now on that sort of soft compound tyre. As we come to the end of lap 2, DRS will be enabled as we go down the back straight in towards turn number 12. Vaporizer will hold the lead by 4 tenths per second from Cucumber there in second, Nathan there in third, then Montana, Campbell, Sweet Crown currently running at the top 6, and Verstappen is at Slash and P's top 10, and Spine, Matthias, Felipe, Gary and Creaker the top 15, and myself, James Head, taking you through the stream here for League of Division 1. Hope you are enjoying it so far. If you're not, Division 3's on, you can go and watch that instead. Vaporizer though leading the way from Cucumber there in second, Nathan there in third. Beautiful camera angle actually that, mirroring Charles Leclerc in practice in 2022 around here. I think it was in free practice 2, if I'm not mistaken, that actually happened in the Ferrari. Nathan pretty much gleaming like the American flag over the circuit here in Austin, Texas. But are we going to see a move from Cucumber on the back of Vaporizer? Closing speed is quite quick, and Vaporizer just lags back slightly and puts Cucumber now into the race lead. Cucumber now into the race lead. Probably unintentional, I think, for him to lead. Is up to the inside line now, and Verstappen hung out to dry there on the right-hand side. Can't really see with this camera angle. There he is in the AlphaTauri on the inside line. He's coming back at him, and Izzat nearly forced himself off track there, and then it's Verstappen through, and he's into 7th. Nice well up between them both. Nathan now hassling the back of Vaporizer. Already those mediums we can feel the effects of Dutchman there in second position, doing a good job. He's on the back of the Canadian of Cucumber right now. The Brit of Nathan there in third, and Montana there in fourth Swissman, and the Scotsman of Campbell there in 5th, and then Sweet Crown, who's Slovenian, in 6th. So we've got the top 6, all different nationalities. If you count Campbell as a Scotsman instead of an Englishman, then we can get away with it. As Nathan is on the back of Vapourizer, coming through the right-hand of turn number 3. Not going to get the job done coming through this part of the lap though. Very difficult to overtake through the S section. I try to pull off a move around here. My league racing career, the last time I actually raced around here, I think was in League of Europe F2, and that was not a fun experience, put it that way. I think I spun coming through a turn 15 at that part of the track, and I spun, I think it was at the race lead as well, and I was looking pretty good as Nathan has a little bit of a kiss of death there on the back of Vaporizer. Is that now going to force the Mercedes man into second position? I think Vaporizer is going to try and gain on the back of Cucumber. No moves, I don't think, going to happen this time around. Cruising speed is quite infinite though on this track. Vaporizer taken the Kai Pearson Reese Linton approach around here, and that is still him in second position. The grid entirely, as Albert just mentioned in the track, in the chat, is an entire DRS train. Yeah, they're hopping on board the Bucharest to the Chisinau Bucharest train, as Moldova at Eurovision 2022 mentioned in their song. Cucumber though leading the way from Vaporizer in second, Nathan there in third. The big old DRS train is in full effect. The split is happening though with Felipe. He's just trying to catch the back of Spine. The Spine is beginning to pull away from him. He's there in 12th position, trying to get a good job done. Nathan there though in third, looking quite good as well. Looking at Renz mentioned in the chat, unfortunately to not have Larkin in Division 1. Legendary name in sim racing F1 community to announce their decision to retire from active league racing competitions. Yeah, Larkin I think has been very busy in terms of his personal life. I know he stepped down I think from the organisation team here as well, and it is a shame he's not in Division 1, has been racing in Division 2 I think this season for the most part, and he has done a very good job there in the races that he has done for League of Europe, and he should not be at all criticised in whatever way, because every single person, me included in this, pulled together to bring you the action here, not only in Division 1 but across the 4 divisions that we have in League of Europe, and I wouldn't want to be part of a better family for it, as Montana's hunting on the back of Nathan. Oh, the two rivals going to go side by side in towards turn number 12. Montana will look to the outside line. Doesn't get the job done. Nathan covers him off, and Nathan has thrown. He's into third still. Is up there on the back of Pease, very much locking up on the brakes there. Is Williams there in 9th position. Slash and Spine there 10th and 11th. Coming through the part of the track again, Montana. Oh, and that's a move actually for Montana to the inside line. Montana may have heard me that they're rivals in the championship, and also rivals very, very sinister-like out on track. And Nathan there in third, Montana there in fourth. They've had their fair share of contacts back in the Europe back in the day, especially in season 8 where they were fighting out for the championship. Montana on the back of Nathan. I think Nathan has got one over on the Swiss man, full-time League of Europe Division 1 champion in behind as well. Is he 4-time or 5-time? I don't know. He could be like The Rock or CM Punk at this stage, and I still don't think we would care. Okay, Cucumber leading the way. Doing everything right so far, but in terms of the ERS usage, he has got way more than Vaporizer, so it's looking pretty easy, I've got to say, from Cucumber out in front right now. 92% compared to Vaporizer on 67%, so 25% more ERS Cucumber's got compared to Vaporizer at this early stage of the race. Nathan there in third, as I've just banged my mic. Apologies about that if you heard that. That was my bottle hitting my mic there. As I will take a drink right there. Nathan though in third, Montana there in fourth. Looking quite good, I've got to say, from the Mercedes' perspective. Now Montana's falling into the clutches even of Campbell, and Campbell's even fallen into the clutches on the back of Sweetcrown. Sweetcrown's on the back of him. Matthias and Felipe are side by side down the straight, chopping and changing positions. Matthias looking for his first point, well, his second point of the season, if he can stay where he is. Of course, top 12 do not get points, I don't think, for the sprint. I think it's top 10, if I'm not mistaken, that do get the points around here in League of Europe. But Matthias is doing he's into 12th, and if that was the feature race, he'd be absolutely coming until the cows come home in 12th and be picking up his second point haul of the season. Perhaps 7 though out of 10 about to begin here in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. Cucumber running out wide there, coming through the final corner, but leads by 6.5 tenths from Vaporizer there in second. Nathan there in third with Montana in fourth, and Campbell in fifth. Sweetcrown there in sixth. Verstappen, Pease is up there in ninth. Is up doing well actually to hold on, even on that wearing to the soft compounded tyres. We'll run a ball with them actually now. It's the right front that takes the hit load around here on this track, because there's more left-handed corners than right-handed corners. Oh, there's more right-handed corners than left-handed corners even around this track. I might have got that wrong. It might be left-handers rather than right-handers, but is up there in 9th, is hanging on to the back of Pease. If you can hold on to him, them tyres will get to the end. Pease making a slight mistake there as well, but you can see that Rio just wanting to step out on the back of Izzat. Looking on board of this front right compounded tyre, there's no blistering going through the centre of the tyre yet, but that is going to be close to blistering. It's going to be around 35%, I would say, at this rate in terms of the lap, because I've got 7 laps of softs. So at this point on the lap, and mine was about 70, I was about 35-36% around this point. So, interesting to see, as Spine has actually now got the job done on Slash. Slash's tyres in the process, but it's job done for him. Felipe to the inside line as well on Matthias. Matthias there trying to fight in that papaya-coloured McLaren. But it's Felipe there in P12 hanging on for now. And it's a good move actually by Felipe. Division 2 champion, of course, last season in League of Europe. He's looking to try and stay with the coattails of the front 11, who have just got away with that battle now, beginning to spawn. Was that a car going off in the background there? I thought there was a very twitchy moment there from somebody. It might have been Verstappen, if I'm not mistaken. I thought there was a car spearing off into the wall in the background. It might have just been my eyesight, but it looked like Verstappen certainly had a little bit of lag there. Hopefully all okay with the lobby, hopefully all okay going forward. Hopefully it's not going to be like Bahrain 2 weeks ago, where we in Division 4 got disconnected as Matthias. That is a forceful move to the inside line on the back of Felipe. I'm not sure if that was an outdo on the brakes or if that was just for pure and utter revenge from what his move was a lap ago. Matthias Thuney's into 12th, Felipe there in 13th. They do love each other, really. They are in what could say is a consummate relationship between the both of them, but judging by this out on track, I think the relationship and the divorce is going to be happening sooner rather than later, as Felipe gets a 3-second penalty and definitely wants a divorce coming out of turn 10 there. Cucumber leading the way though, Vaporizer in second, Nathan there in third. He's looking to the left hand side. Pulling out of the slipstream, doesn't want the move to happen. We are going to see though round 3 commence between Felipe and Matthias down towards turn number 12. Felipe's closing speed is too inferior to the pace of Matthias, and Felipe now gives him a little bit of a barge for good measure, and that is through into P12 for him. But Matthias is actually coming back at him to the inside line, in towards turn 13, back up the inside line, and Felipe has just been done like an absolute kipper. Should have never went up the gap there. And oh, Felipe's came across him and he's broken his front wing. Left side end plate damage on the car. Matthias will try and fight this, even with this left side end plate damage on the car, but that's just not needed. God, the divorce is definitely over now. They're going to be, well, it's Las Vegas next week. They can get remarried if they're good for each other. But Cucumber leading the way. Vaporizer there in second. Nathan there in third. Matthias will carry on with that left side end plate damage, but it is going to bring Trico potentially ahead of him in the not too distant future. But Cucumber leading the way. Vaporizer in second. Nathan there in third. Into the nitty gritty of this race. Into the final 2 laps we will go. And at this moment in time, looking very good at this point. From Cucumber's perspective, Vaporizer there in second, also looking very good at this stage, but we are now going to see the overtakes begin to be commenced, and hopefully to this lap around, in terms of how this is going to go, as Vaporizer is on the back of Cucumber. Is he going to look for the move down the straight towards turn 12? The sun gleaming in the driver's eyes, and he is going to go for the move now. Again, closing speed too inferior in the DRS here, and Vaporizer through and he's into the lead, but Cucumber will try and fight back on the brakes. Got a little bit deep there, Vaporizer into the corner. Just collects himself and holds on to the lead, but Cucumber is right there. 89% of ERS, Vaporizer 73, so it doesn't matter really for Cucumber. You can actually hold up the back of Vaporizer and hold on to him pretty well. Nathan's got 48%, so he'll be the real concern at this point. Montana on 35%, again, he'll be the real concern as well in terms of a top 3 finish. Them two have not got as much ERS as what the front 2 have got in front. That totally made sense because I'm repeating myself there. But Felipe's on the back of Gary. Gary got the job done back into P12, by the way. Felipe there in 13th, they're having their own private squabbles. But speaking of squabbles, Nathan on the back of Cucumber. Onto the final lap we go. Final 5.5 kilometres now bearing on board as Izzat looks to the inside line on the back of Pease. All of a sudden they'll set us off Compana tyres coming back to him. He's got the job done, so Izzat Dooney's into 8th, Pease there in 9th, and Spine there in 10th. They're going to have a three-way battle coming through the first part of the lap as Gary has got the job done back on Felipe towards turn 1. Vaporizer holding the lead, but how much long is he going to do? Cucumber taking the Reece Linton approach around here on the back of the McLaren, and it's surely going to be very easy down in towards turn number 12. You'd think Vaporizer will not have as much speed as what Cucumber's done, but Vaporizer's got a good run coming out of turn number 12, and now Cucumber is on the DRS, he's on the ERS, he wants to burn all this battery, and again the closing speed is too inferior, and here comes Nathan on the back of them as well. Cucumber to the inside line will take the lead, Vaporizer there in 2nd, but hang on a moment because Nathan there is right in the back in the field, they're in 3rd position, looking to try maybe go for moving towards turn 15 on the back of the McLaren, who seems to be struggling right now. Spine is now through on Izzat, his tyres going off the cliff late on, and he's also spun coming through the left-hander of turn 13 as well, the right-hander of 13 even. Cucumber though leads the way for the final time here in the sprint race. The feature race still to come, 28 laps of course still to come, as Cucumber now comes through the final couple of corners. The Canadian that's going to be 3 on the bounce if you count the sprint race win. Cucumber to the line, wins in the sprint from Vaporizer there in 2nd, Nathan there in 3rd, Montana there in 4th, Campbell there indeed in 5th. We close to the line with Gary and Felipe in terms of this battle for 12th. Felipe with that penalty is going to be right down the back of the field, I think, but there's Gary there in 12th, Creco and Matthias jumping ahead as well, and Felipe there ends up down in P15, and what was a very, very lackadaisical race in terms of the DRS trains, but a very, very decent race nonetheless. Cucumber takes drive of the day, awarded by the in-game fans, and yeah, I'd agree with that. Cucumber drove a phenomenal race, as did the top 3, but in the end, out on top is Cucumber. Let's have a look at the results then. 4/10 of a second for Cucumber, 16 minutes dead on. This race is finished in. Vaporizer there in 2nd, Nathan there in 3rd, from Montana in 4th, and Campbell there in 5th, Sweetpan there in 6th, and Verstappen 7th, Pisa 8th, Spiner 9th, and Slash round off the top 10. Unless the point system has changed, the top 10, I believe, get points for the sprint. Is up there in 11th. His sort of soft component tyres held on well, but if you are a Division 2 or Division 4 driver and looking at this right now, certainly from Izzat's perspective, those tyres will not last above 6 or 7 laps, and then they really begin to go off the cliff. Gary there in 12th, Fico in 13th, Matthias there in 14th, and then Felipe there down at the back of the field. But we are about to get going here for the feature, for this fantastic American Grand Prix, United States Grand Prix, Austin, Texas Grand Prix, whatever you like to call it these days, because the American Grand Prix is going to be probably called Miami next season. But let me know in the comment section what you thought of that race. Let me know who you're supporting as well, and let me know your predictions for the race win as well in this feature race, and hopefully it's going to be a very good feature race as well. Now, I know F1 Sim Racing is going on live right now. It is on YouTube, actually, being featured as a broadcast. So I'm looking at the minute in terms of round 1, and we'll update you about the Bahrain Grand Prix. I think it is just getting underway right now. So we'll have a look and see how the drivers are getting on with things out there in Sweden. And on lap 2 out of 29, Thomas Renault leads from Danny Beresne in 2nd and Alfie Butcher there in 3rd. So the front 3 remaining as they are out on track. And I'm just trying to listen to who's on commentary. Matthew Gallagher is one. Not sure who the other is. Might be Alex Straights potentially. But we're going to get going more importantly here for League of Europe and for Division 1 very shortly indeed, as we now will get going for the feature. 28 laps, of course, remember, out on track, and that means the drivers are going to be absolutely helter-skelter in terms of the racing and in terms of how they're going to approach this out on track. As the formation up now begins, we'll see what everyone has chosen in terms of the tyres. Interesting strategy called further down the field. Not surprising with the top 10, to be honest. Everyone opting for Hard Compana tyres. Hard's certainly the tyre to be on from my perspective as well. So they've certainly done me in there in terms of the strategy. But top 10 are on a Hards, as are Creco and Matthias. Everyone else in a set of mediums is Gary and Felipe, the final 3 that are on that set of medium compound tyres, 11th, 12th and 15th position for them. They are starting on that set of mediums. Now, in terms of tyre wear around here for the feature, medium compound tyres will last around about 5% a lap in terms of the tyre wear. They will last you up to around lap 11, lap 12 before drivers may opt to come in for a set of hard compound tyres. If you want a set of hard compound tyres though, and you want to try and go a little bit, you should manage to get around about 15 or 16 laps, and then it's a decision really on whether you want to go on a set of softs or a set of mediums. Personally for me, mediums I think are better around here. They are the better, more durable tyre around here compared to the rest, so therefore we should see the hard compound, the mediums come in the later stages of the race, then the hard compound tyres come on at the start. So everyone that's on a set of hards, you've got a one-up for me. Everyone on a set of mediums, I think you're going to be struggling potentially in terms of the strategy call. Let's have a look though and see what you guys have been saying in the track. Out there saying isn't going to be a fun race. It's going to be another DRS train bar pit stops. Feel making a difference on raw pace is more difficult compared to older games. Yeah, definitely around here, raw pace, definitely difficult. I think on this track in particular, very difficult to try and find your raw pace and try and find that as an advantage, because everyone with a DRS train, it's just going to be negated so much and everyone's going to be on an equal playing field. And I'm also saying Cucumber, Nathan and Montana for the top three. I am going to go a little bit off the cuff and say Montana for the win. I'm going to go Cucumber for second, and I'm going to go Nathan for third. So very similar top three, just in a different position. But, here we go. Front row lights about to go out once again. We'll take you on board with Vaporizer for the race start. Front row lights now going out here in Austin, Texas. And it is lights out, away we go, and Vaporizer gets a good start. Another strong nose Cucumber. Nathan there on the background trying to go in the slipstream of Vaporizer in towards turn 1, but Cucumber will lead. Nathan to the inside line, as is the background of Peas to the inside line. On the back of Sweet Crown and Verstappen, they're 3 wide coming through turn 1. All nice and clean throughout so far. Cucumber though leads, Vaporizer in second. Nathan there in third, Montana there in fourth, Campbell there in fifth. They cascade their way through the S section for the first time. Gary and Spine are side by side in the background. Gary through into 11, Spine there in 12th. I'm not sure if he's got rights on unplate damage on the car. Matthias, Felipe and Crico having their own private battle at the back end of the field. Felipe and Matthias once again next to each other out on track. Maybe they are going to consummate the damage in towards turn 11 right now. And he's coming from an absolute mile back. It's Felipe on the back of Matthias, trying to get the job done. Gives him room. Matthias gives him a little bit of a knock. Cucumber there leads the way. Vaporizer already though on the battery, already trying to go for this move, and Nathan already on the battery as well. We could get 3 wide in towards turn number 12. Nathan will look to the inside line. Cucumber down the middle of the track. Vaporizer on the outside line. They just about fit through there in 1, and Vaporizer somehow come out on top still. Nathan there in second. Cucumber though to the inside line, switching it back, and it's 3 wide almost coming out of turn 13. Now in towards turn 15, the double left at 14 and 15, and Nathan back up the inside line. Surely going to try and get this move done. All the way around the outside in towards Verstappen corner at 16, 17 and 18. He's still there, cannot find a way through. Vaporizer leads. Nathan there in second, Cucumber there in third at the end of what will be lap 1 out of 28. Phenomenal start by Vaporizer, phenomenal start by the top 3, and phenomenal batting throughout the field as well. Everyone is clean through lap 1 safely. Little bit of scrimmaging maybe with Matthias and Felipe further down the field, but apart from that, very good as Sweetcrown now looks to the outside line. In towards turn 1, Izzat on the inside line as well. Through turn 1, gets the job done. Sweetcrown is still top by side with Campbell. I think Campbell is going to come out on top of that one, and he does. He remains there in P5, Sweetcrown there in P6, and Nathan there, Izzat there in P7. Oh, as I can already feel my voice beginning to go. So hopefully it doesn't go, and hopefully you can all hear me okay, and hopefully it doesn't voice crack or anything. But if my voice does get a little bit, Izzat looks the inside line on the back of Sweetcrown. I forgot what I was going to say there, but Izzat, regardless, is going to make up for it because he goes to the inside line, gets the job done. Spine is off, coming through the left hand of turn 11. That's into the braking zone. I wonder if there's been a better contact there between himself and Matthias in the background. No, Matthias was a bit offline there in the background. But Izzat making very good ground up to 6th position, starting from P11. Already up 6 positions. The mediums clearly working in the early stages of this race. Oh, as I am I was going to mute my mic there because my voice is going, but you can enjoy everything going on out on track. It's beautiful to see the racing out on track here. You can see the position gains as well. Izzat making the most positions, 5 positions gained. Felipe gaining 4, Gary gaining 3 most positions lost, however. That man down in P15's fine after that bit of contact, and I'm sure he's going to come in for a new front. Wait, no, he's not. He's going to continue on. The spine will continue on. Get on to lap 3 out of 28 and the start of the DRS train out on track. Oh, and you can tell my voice is going because I'm already beginning to cough, which is not great. Is that there on the back of Campbell? 5th and 6th position for them. Beautiful helicopter cams right through on board the first sector. This will take us all the way down and towards turn 11. Montana there, Campbell there in 5th. Nathan there, Izzat there in 6th, goodness me. Nathan's there in 2nd, Izzat there in 6th. Definitely getting me confused for sure. Nathan on the back though will vaporise. He's going to look for a move potentially down in towards turn number 12. Don't think he's going to come from this far back. Somebody I might know is Izzat, already on the back of Campbell. Already now looking to the inside line. There should be a job done for the Singaporean, and he's through on the Scotsman, but he went way too deep. Almost going off to the outback there in the desert in Texas. But he's through and he's into 5th regardless. It's a nice move that by Izzat. Campbell there in 6th, Frequent there in 7th. They all fly through in line astern formation. Pretty much similar how I think Division 4 is going to be going in the early stages of this race as well. The big old DRS train and everything happening on the first few laps. But we'll see how the drivers will cope with this. Vaporizer though leading the way, 5/10 per second. Over Nathan there in 2nd, Cucumber there in 3rd, and Montana 4th. Izzat 5th, and Campbell 6th. Frequent 7th, Pease there in 8th, Gary there in 9th, then Verstappen top 10, then Felipe / Crico, Matthias and Spine. The 15 drivers continuing on as Matthias, speaking of which, is to the inside line of Crico and towards turn 1. And that is job done for the McLaren. And he's through into P13 on the back there of the Alfa Romeo. So nice job done there from him. Well, there's a little bit of a break in the action. You will see. We'll run above the leader for now. I will take a slight break with my voice. I'll be back though in around a minute and a half, about a minute's time, or whenever the action begins to get going, because I think Gary will be up from P on the back of P's very soon indeed. As I'm back like that, because Nathan was looking to the inside line on the back of Vaporizer, but he's not getting the job done there. Nathan there in 2nd, hanging on to the coattails, hanging on to the back there of Vaporizer. As Alp said in the chat, it's probably going to be one big old DRS train, and we're all for it, I think. Hop on board the train, you never know where it might take us. Where's the nearest destination from Austin? Maybe, I don't know, Nashville, Tennessee, somewhere like that? I don't know about the American transport system, but regardless, the train is going to be taking them somewhere. It's going to be taking them around the 6-kilometre circuit here at Circuit of the Americas. A 5-odd kilometre circuit even. Vaporizer though leading the way, Nathan there in 2nd, Cucumber there in 3rd. Slash is the first man to pick up a 3-second penalty. We saw it in the race as well in the sprint. But in the feature, he's the first one to pick one up, coming out through the left-hander of turn number 1. Oh, and there's a mistake there from Gary to the outside line through turn number 1, and I'm not sure actually if he's got a wheel problem here. Getting out of the way there of Felipe and Verstappen. Not sure if that was an enforced mistake. It looked to me as if it was, but on second looking, could have been potentially a bit of a wheel issue, like a false feedback or like slight disconnection or something. But Gary there in 11th position. He's there still, as Crico's now ahead of Matthias, and Gary has spun! Gary has spun into the wall. You could see the end plate there hanging on the left-hand side, just as he reverses the car. And Gary there in the walls, Gary there in the wall, and he's there down in P15, out on track. Unless that unplayed damage on the car, he is not going to be one happy Irishman right now. Needs to down a pint of Guinness, and then it'll be all fine. Vaporizer though leading the way, Nathan there in 2nd, Cucumber there in 3rd, lap 5 out of 28 here in America, in Austin, Texas. And looking all so far so good as Gary picks up a 3-second penalty. I don't think that'll be the least of his worries right now with that damage. But It is a prevalent track to pick up track limits penalties as well. Now, speaking of track limits penalties, I think the stewards were monitoring certain parts of the lap in terms of the race, and I will confirm this for you right about now. It was turn 9, turn 12, turn 15, turn 19 and turn 20. So turn 9, turn 12, turn 15, turn 19 and turn 20. The track limits for the race here tonight. Oh, as you can tell, my voice is going. Gary there is into the pit lane, and Matthias has picked up a 3-second penalty as well. So Matthias picking up a penalty. Again, not going to be the least of his worries. He is there in P13 on the back of Creakle. That might set him back a little bit later on in the race, as Gary goes on to a set of soft compound tyres. There's not really much he can do, I think, in that situation. Bob, go on. A set of soft compound tyres. Let's have a look. As Nathan there runs wide coming out of turn number 12. Is he going to look for a first bite of the cherry on the back of Vaporizer? No, is the answer. He's taken literally the Sam Gamer line down the straight in towards turn 12. Not going to get the job done down there. Cucumber there in third. They're all going to run, I think, at this point, probably until we get... Oh, well, actually, Cucumber goes the inside line on Nathan. Might have been a enforced error there from Nathan as I turned away from the screen for just for a second. Cucumber there, now around the outside of turn 15. Trying to get the job done. Mercedes there on the inside line. Cucumber there now for the inside of turn 16. Now for 17. Now for 18. He's still there on the inside line. Nathan forced off track there slightly with his own grip. And Cucumber's still going to try and hang this round, but Nathan there, back on the inside, back when he's into second, and Montana jumping on this immediately. Two title contenders now at war with each other here in America. And Montana just about scrapes ahead of Cucumber, and that is him now through, and he's into P3. Cucumber there is fighting back though up the straight in towards turn 1. Montana falls into a late break, and the Cucumber swings back up the inside line. And the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin are now side by side. We'll take this from Izzat's perspective, as Montana now is back ahead of Cucumber. Brilliant battle between the two title contenders. Third and fourth position. You would think they're fighting out for first and second, but they're not. They're third and fourth. Brilliant, brilliant racing out on track between Montana and Cucumber, and showing how everyone needs to follow in Division 4 later on. All of that, though, has brought Vaporizer now a second clear. So Vaporizer now a second clear begins to maybe think, could he take my approach in Bahrain and use up all of his ERS and really put Nathan on the back foot? Nathan, though, has got ERS this time around and ERS to burn, so that's not going to be too easy for Vaporizer to try and get away. Campbell there on the back of Izzat in towards turn number 12 as well. Not getting the job done. Somebody that is, though, down the straight is Slash to the inside line on Felipe, and that is him through, and he's into 11th position out on track. For Vaporizer, leading the way from Nathan there in second, Montana there in third, then Cucumber in fourth, Izzat there in fifth, Campbell there in sixth, and Sweet Crown in seventh, Peas and 8th, Verstappen 9th, Slash in the top 10, and Felipe Matthias, Rico's spine, and Gary after his damage there down in P15 on a set of soft compound tyres. There are the penalties, by the way, just confirmed. Slash on 3, Matthias on 3, Gary on 3 as well, in terms of the penalties so far, and I have a feeling that's probably not going to be the last. Oh, as a yawn catches me off guard and towards turn 1, not for the action, just because I'm sitting next to a very hot radiator that's making me tired. Leaving on the back of Slash, coming through turn 1 there, now on the back coming through turn number 2, 3. And Brett on the back of his fellow countryman, looking to try and get the job done. Hit the inside curb there through turn number 6, I think that was. 3, 6 and 7. Just now bringing him off the line a little bit. Matthias is 2.6 seconds off, so he has got a little bit of breathing room to try and play with if needs be, as Gary sets a fastest lap of the race with a 1:35.5. And in terms of fastest lap so far, that does go to him, so that would be a point, I believe, for him at this stage of the race, even if he is down in 15th position. Might be the point scoring positions, though, that get the fastest lap. As Felipe once again goes past on the back of Slash, and a good old ding-dong further down the field. And it's ding-dong for 10th position for Felipe as he gets the job done on the back of Slash. Vaporizer, though, leading the way. Nathan there in second, Montana there in third. Alt mentioned in the chat, if this is an undercut track, Izzat could play an interesting role in the race. He could because the way I'm working it out as in terms of the strategies, his mediums will begin to be going off around about this point, around about 8 or 9 laps in. There's a possibility he can stretch the stint to around halfway into the race, and then maybe go for set of hards to the end of the race. He's going to have to be forced, though, on that compounded tyre to the end because of his chosen strategy. What he can do, though, is get a big undercut, and the sooner he pits in, and the more he feels he's home with the hards, the better he will be in the longer term. So, I totally understand his Alp's point there, and he's totally right, because it is up there, on the back in 5th, with his medium compounded tyres. They're looking still rather fresh. You can see the little bit of blistering just occurring through the left hand of the tyre, where the winglet is on the right hand side. Just see on the right hand side of the tyre, or the left hand side, as you look where the yellow rim is going around. You can see a bit of blistering just going off the tyre there, around the outside. So that brings me to think that his tyres are beginning to go off now, because Nathan is on the back. A vaporizer once again, but you can tell in terms of the straight line speed, Nathan does not want any part in this battle. I was going to say that, and I thought he was going to go for the move to the inside of turn number 12, but he doesn't. Vaporizer there, still in the lead. Nathan there in second, Montana there in third, as we are now pretty much a third of the way through here in Austin, Texas, at the Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix, officially known still as the United States Grand Prix. Now coming through the right-handers of 16, 17 and 18 once again. Vaporizer, Nathan, Montana, top 3. And looking all good so far for Vaporizer, but he is a little bit under pressure in terms of his EOS. Nathan has got 20% more than Vaporizer at this stage. So if I was in the McLaren shoes right now, I'd be a little bit worried about the man behind me, because I know he's got more EOS than me. I'd also know he's looking for moving towards turn number 1 on me. He doesn't this time around, so I think he's going to go maybe down the straight if he does want to try and be entertained with a battle. But we'll see how Nathan is getting on. A lot of complaints, by the way, about the race direction for sim racing, which is not surprising given how PSGL F7 stream or League of Division 4 stream could look a little bit better with the race direction than what F1 sim racing is right now. But Vaporizer there leading the way, Nathan there in second, Montana there in third, everything going according to plan. There was another penalty picked up, by the way, which we missed. I think it was Crico that picked up a 3-second penalty. So it's now Slash on 3, Matthias on 3, Crico on 3 and Gary on 3 as well. Nathan pulling as far to the left hand side as possible, not to be entertained by this move. Somebody that is going to be entertained, that was Campbell on the back of his up, taking full advantage now of those tyres beginning to come off. Oh, and there's contact actually in the foreground of shot. Nathan there leading the way, but there's contact there from Vaporizer to the inside line, and now it's all getting a little bit messy. Vaporizer sent off track by Nathan, probably unintentional, saw that little bit of contact, and now Montana takes full advantage. He's through and he's into second. Wow, Campbell, in the meantime got through and he's into fifth, but Vaporizer there in third. Contact there from Nathan. It wasn't a push to pass, put it that way. I think Nathan just did necessarily not mean that, and I think from his perspective, if he did mean it, then it was unintentional. Sweet Crown is into the pit lane. So Sweet Crown is in for a very early pit stop. Very early pit stop. Cucumber's under pressure now from the back of Campbell in towards turn 1. Not going to get the job done there. But Sweet Crown is in. Spine is in as well. Way too early for me. Absolutely way too early. Medium compound tyres are on. Unless they're predicting a safety car come the end of this race, they've got absolutely no chance of their mediums getting to the end of the race. 18 laps on a set of mediums at around 5% ratio. They're going to be around 70% come 12, 13 laps into the stint. Is making it, though, a little bit further into the race than what I thought he might. So, might mean that I can shut up a little bit and stop criticising the drivers for taking the strategies. But we never know. We never know what is going to be happening out on track. But it is Nathan that leads the way from Montana second. Vaporizer there in third. Vaporizer is definitely going to try and come back at Nathan, though, later on in this race. Cucumber in fourth. Campbell there in fifth. Is at sixth. P7 Verstappen slash Felipe top 10. Ty Squeaker and Spine. Crico Gary top 15. If you're wondering if there's going to be any interviews, by the way, by the end of tonight, because we started a little bit late, there probably isn't. So we will hop full it straight into Division 4. And if you do want to show me support in Division 4, You can do. I'm second in the championship. I'm 57 points off the title lead from Mr. Major Falcon, who's doing a fantastic job right now. But if you do want to see me, you know, give me a little bit of a boost up, come and see me in Division 4, see how I get on. I am looking forward to COTA. It's going to be one of my better races of the season, put it this way. Hopefully. The Speed Thrower's into the pits. Medium compound tyres on. He's got a lap later than Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown is going to be ahead of him, coming out of the pit lane as well. Purple final sector as well from him. Sweet Crown is there. Peas is right at the end of the pit lane. And there's Sweet Crown miles ahead of Peas. Don't think even that they were around each other at the time, but Sweet Crown is 3 seconds ahead of Peas. And that undercut for Sweet Crown definitely going to be posting towards the end of the race. Thank you, Up. Thank you, Up. At least I'm getting... Oh, as Creeko was retired in the pit lane. I thought there was a crash there out on track. Bear with me a second, but Creeko there is retired in the pit lane. And that is him out of the race. The first retirement out of the race as well. Unfortunate, but... I mean, I'm not surprised entirely because he was struggling on that compound tyre. He already had a 3-second penalty to his name as well. Vaporizer as well, having that 3-second penalty, and I think he picked that up from getting forced off track. That slight bit of tap from Nathan was just enough to send Vaporizer off, and that's why Vaporizer now is on the back foot and he's struggling because Cucumber's all over the back of him in fourth. But yeah, thank you very much, App. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I will do you justice. Hopefully I will do everyone of my one fans justice there in the chat later on. Again, 57 points. I think it is going to be a little bit hard for me to try and gain in terms of the Division 4 Championship, but you never know. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does, as one Murray Walker once said. Lap 13 out of 28 here in the American Grand Prix. I was going to say the Japanese Grand Prix for a second there. Goodness me, we're not there in Fuji or anywhere like that. Nathan now leading the way for Montana there in second. Then it's Vaporizer and third. Again, beautiful helicopter cameras. We're on board with the leaders. We come now through part of this lap. This part of the lap really now getting on with things in terms of the race and in terms of the pit stops. We're going to see who begins to come in to the pit lane very soon indeed, and whether or not we get to see those early pit stops as one might think. But Nathan has got ultimate control of this race. He has a strong race normally around here in America, and he's certainly doing a good job out in front. 7/10 of a second over Montana and Vaporizer. Montana and Vaporizer there second and third right now. And it's Cucumber in fourth. Cucumber now looking on the back. Verstappen, however, looking on the back of his app to the inside line. Is the Dutchman going to get up the inside line? Maybe just. Now on the outside of turn 13. AlphaTauri against Williams, and the Williams is the man that comes out on top, so it's job done for him, and he's there in P7. Bosnia there in the chat's looking forward to the D4 race. Yeah, I hope it's going to be a better battle than what we robbed of 2 weeks ago in Bahrain, and hopefully I'll be up there and not pick up a drive-through penalty this race as well, like I did last week in Canada, which ultimately I think I probably would have been in the top 3 if it wasn't for that overspeed in the VSC. But you never know what will happen. Lap 14 out of 28, halfway stage. Here's the roll call. It's Nathan that leads the way from Montana in second, and the good old rivals are once again 1-2. From Vaporizer there in third, Cucumber in fourth, Campbell there in fifth, and an absolute dive of a century from Verstappen to the inside line. Dive of a century that makes contact with the side of his end plate, and that's job done for Verstappen, and he's through and he's into sixth. Verstappen there in sixth, is at 11-7, but now, because of that contact, they've now forced each other outside the DRS range, which is not good news if you're an Izzat fan or if you're a Verstappen fan right now either. Alf saying also, is it possible Whiter exit somewhere in the middle of this train? Yeah, potentially so. Potentially so. I don't think Whiter's actually racing tonight, unless he's under a different name tag. Don't think he's actually here tonight, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a real interesting one, I think. Here comes Cucumber on the back of Vaporizer. This will be more interesting, I think, for Montana rather than Cucumber if he wants to get this job done, because Cucumber, obviously behind him in the points. Montana outscoring Cucumber right now, so the points haul will be very limited, I've got to say, for Montana, but it will still be a gap that he can carry forward towards the end of the race. Looking good right now as we now come through the right-hander on board with Slash. Now on board with the leader once again of Nathan. Here's 6/10 of a second between himself and Montana, but we should see pit stop begin to happen rather soon. And I thought we were going to see one there. We are going to see one. Verstappen's in and Izzat's in. So Verstappen in, medium's on, and Izzat will be in, hard's on for him. Hard's on? Did that really make sense? And was that really necessary for me? Yes, it was. Verstappen there is in, so the hard compounder tyres are going to be coming on for him. For Izzat and Verstappen on a set of medium compounder tyres out on track, and they're going to be fresher towards the end of the race, so it is definitely going to be interesting to see how they all cope out on track. Sweetman, by the way, look at where he's going to be coming out in all of this. The gap between himself and Nathan is 8.6 seconds. Pit stop around here is about 22 seconds. Just think of that. I'll leave that with you for a moment and see what you think Sweetman is going to be doing in this race. Pit stop is about, as I say, 22 seconds around here, and the gap between Sweetman and Nathan right now is 8.1 seconds, and that gap is consistently coming down. So, what do they do? Is P's going to move on Slash in the background, job done for him. Haas moving on the fellow Ferrari-powered car in the Ferrari. Slash there in P8 and Haas there in the Ferrari-powered car is through, and he's into 7th. Sweetman is Wouter, terrible. I'm absolutely done with that. Yeah, it's took me 16 races just to find that out. Thank you very much, Alf. Nathan leading the way. Montana second, Vaporizer in third. Cucumber in fourth, Campbell there in fifth, and Campbell's the first of the 5 to come in the pit lane. He has to come off, cut off, I think, Sweetman, because Sweetman's already through into the final corner right now. And Campbell, this will be the big deciding factor. He's already passed Campbell now down the pit lane. Campbell's in the pit box. Sweetman should be about 10 to 12 seconds ahead of Campbell here coming out the pit lane, if my math is correct. Might even be more than that. Might even be towards 15 seconds. Sweetman there in 5th. Campbell there in... might be 10th, because there's Izzat on the back of him in towards turn number 1. Campbell there in 9th. Izzat there in 10th. But Sweetman to Campbell, gap 14 seconds. And the guys ahead, Nathan, Montana, Vaporizer and Cucumber, still yet to come in the pit lane. So Sweetman is going to be leading this race by about... well, he's going to be about 3 seconds over P's, but he's going to be in no man's land out in front, and everyone in behind is going to be running a big DRS train. So everyone, it's pretty much splitting into 2, I think, this race. We've got the closers, the front 4 at the minute, against Sweetman P's who are trying to last out on the side of mediums. It'll be fascinating to the end of the race. I'm going to take a slight break from commentary. I'll be back in a minute. Interesting. Very, very interesting coming into the pit lane. Cucumber and Nathan are into the pit lane even. And Montana and Vaporizer continue on. It's going to be very interesting. They're going to come out around about Campbell is that sort of area, I think. Certainly from Nathan's perspective, he's certainly going to be coming out, I think, right in the thick of this, behind maybe his teammate here. Campbell in the back of him in towards turn number 1. Nathan is ahead. Nathan is ahead of Campbell. Good news as well, because there's Cucumber. Now, nearly outside of a second. Spine and Felipe are having a battle as well through turn 1, 2 and 3. Or 1 and 2 even, and towards turns 3, 4, 5 and 6 we will come. Montana though leading the way. Gap now between Montana and Sweetman is 5.2 seconds. 5.2 seconds between the Dutchman and the Swissman right now. And that means Montana and Vaporizer have got to make up a 17, 18 second deficit, maybe even more than that. Maybe even more than that come the end of the race, which is going to be near enough an impossible task. But I remember a race around here that I covered on the last game. Montana and Tom were the ones battling out, and Tom and Montana were both on the same strategy, and they caught so quickly on that compounder tyre, on the same set of mediums, within the first 5 or 6 laps of that stint. So the mediums, if they're anything to go by, will be ones to watch out for. Montana and Vaporizer continue on. Continue on, and this can only mean one thing. This can only mean a red wall-looking set of soft compound tyre for Montana and Vaporizer to the end of the race. Now, if they last 10 laps, they've got a good chance of getting forward in the end. But this is fascinating because I'm not sure if they even know what they're doing themselves. It's one of those things where, as Cucumber's passing is actually demonstrating towards turn number 1, should be job done for Cucumber. Canadian now through and he's into 8th position, is up there in 9th. But Montana and Vaporizer, I'm not sure what... They're clearly in the same party together because they're clearly on the same strategy. But I've got to be honest, I'm questioning what on earth they're doing right now because... I mean, I questioned Montana in China all the way back, I think it was last season when it was wet and he ended up winning that race. I don't want to question him too much, but Vaporizer is going to go for the move on Montana for the race lead. Doesn't make any sense why they've stayed out, to be honest. It really doesn't. Vaporizer there leading, Montana into second, Sweetcrown there in third, and look at the gap, it's 4.5 seconds, but the hards are actually not going off at a rate as compared to Sweetcrown is. So, maybe the earlier that you put in, the worse it's going to be towards the end of the race. And I think that is definitely key for Sweetcrown right now, is that Cucumber and Verstappen side by side. Sorry, yeah, it's Campbell and Cucumber even side by side. Coming out through turn 13. Cucumber trying to make hay with the fresh set of mediums. Campbell though back to the inside line, having absolutely none of that. Get as good as you're given, running them off track there. Campbell through and he's into 7th. And Cucumber there in 8th, as now the front two pit in. So Vaporizer and Montana pitting in, realising that the battling is happening, but again, I don't know what they're doing, to be honest, to come in the pit lane this late. Sweetcrown now in the lead by 3 seconds, from Pease in second, and then it's Nathan in third, Verstappen in fourth, then it'll be Campbell, Cucumber, then Izat, as Cucumber makes the move on Campbell in towards turn number 1, and now they're out in clear air. Vaporizer and Montana are out in clear air ahead of Felipe. And if they left that a lap later, Montana would have been side by side with Felipe coming out of the pit lane, and you know how he hates Felipe. But Sweetcrown leading the way. It's now the race of the hunters become the hunted in America. In what could be tactically one of the best races of the season here in Division 1. It's Sweetcrown that leads the way. 2.6 seconds the gap. He's with the fresher tyres, beginning to try and edge closer, but look, he's used up his battery, as is Sweetcrown. They're trying the strategy that I normally do around here. Everyone else, though, that is pitted in earlier on this set of medium compound tyres, it's difficult because the tyre wear, I can understand about the tyre wear, but Nathan Verstappen and Cucumber might just well win this race. Vaporizer Montana, I think they've left it too late. They're miles behind on Izat. They're going to have to use up EOS just to get there. They can't use the tyres as their full bargaining chip, almost. And Vaporizer and Montana in 8th and 9th. And, at the minute, between himself and Sweetcrown, 13.4 seconds off the lead. I don't see Sweetcrown... I see Sweetcrown holding that 13.5 second gap to Vaporizer Montana quite comfortably, actually. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be very, very interesting indeed. Sweetcrown leading the way. Pease there in second. Nathan there in third. Verstappen there in fourth. Cucumber there in fifth. Then Campbell. Then Izat. Then Vaporizer Montana and then Matthias ran off the top 10. Matthias in the points, by the way. Good to see him in the points for now. Felipe there in 11th. Spider in 12th. Then Slash in 13th. Gary there in 14th position. Out on track are the ones that are continuing on. Creco retiring in the pit lane. A little bit of disappointment in terms of his race up until that point. It's going to get tactically fascinating now to the end of the race. We've got 8 laps to go after this one. Medium compound tyres going for around about 5 to 6% per lap, remember, so it is going to be very interesting to see how it's going to go on as Cucumber blasts past Verstappen down the straight in towards turn number 12. And it's job done for the Alfa Romeo when he's through, and he's into 4th. Verstappen there in 5th, and look what's happening in behind. Felipe, Matthias, Spine, at the back of this umbilical cord, quite literally. Felipe there through into 10th, Matthias there in 11th, Spine there in 12th. Sweetcrown though leading the way, out on track, looking nice and neat so far. But is it all going to come back to haunt them towards the end of the race? Is the tyres going to really go right at the end of the race? Looks that way for now, but Sweetcrown is doing a phenomenal job to keep that gap, and everyone bar Nathan Cucumber has used up their EOS batteries, so Nathan and Cucumber are looking quite smug at this situation. They're in 3rd and 4th. They appear to be the favourites right now to win. As Murray Walker once said, and I'll repeat it again before the stream is out, as Matthias is going through and Felipe through turn number 1. Felipe's run out wide and Matthias is doing his into 10th. Maybe a little bit of revenge if there was a little bit. We'll see how that is going on. Felipe there in 11th. Interesting actually, Just Hun has just mentioned about this on F1 Esports. There's no moderators on the Twitch channel apparently. Luckily we've got moderators on this channel. League of Europe, so as Nathan gets through and Pete, and we'll read that in a second, but that is job done for Nathan. He's through and he's into 2nd, and now Campbell's coming at his former teammate Verstappen to the inside line. Campbell through and he's into 5th. Verstappen there in 6th, Montana, Vaporizer and Izzat 7th, 8th and 9th. They're on the big train as well. They have left that way too late, I think. Try and get forward. Oh, as Cucumber sends a beautiful move to the inside line on the back of Peas. Beautifully done, and he's through and he's into 3rd. Yeah, just on saying in the chat, apparently there was sexist comments towards Ash Vanderlei, who was the female commentator there tonight for qualifying, and indeed I think for the race as well. Sweetcrown is in! Sweetcrown is in! P's in! Medium's not making it to the end of the race, it seems. And everyone else that pit a little bit later on, going to around lap 16. Lap 16 on the set of hards. Big call for them, and that was always a worry for them to run out of the tyres towards the end of the race, and that was what was going to happen. And now flips the race completely on its head. Sweetcrown now into the pit lane. That might be his night done. He's there in 9th. He's behind Matthias in that battle. He's got no chance of catching up to the back of the front 7, I would say. But Nathan there leading the way. Cucumber in 2nd, Campbell there in 3rd. Cucumber now looking on the back of Nathan. Montana is the closest rivals there in 5th. As it stands, Cucumber goes for the attack for the race lead, which I think he might, to the inside line. He does indeed. And Cucumber now through he's into the race lead. Nathan there in 2nd, Campbell there in 3rd. And it's job done for Cucumber. As it stands right now, there is a 15-point swing. Fastest lap currently is Montana. There's a 14-point swing between Cucumber and Montana in this race. The gap was 17 points coming into tonight. As it stands, the race was stopped now because we're pretty much above 75% race distance if we were to get any glitches or anything. Cucumber would win this race and will be within 3 points of Montana going into the final 2 rounds of the season. And of course, with the sprint race, Cucumber outscoring Montana there might even be level on points going into Las Vegas next week. That's as it stands. You never know what can happen. Montana and Vaporizer, I think I'll mention there, they're trying to look at with the safety car. They are trying to look it out with the safety car, I think from Sweetcrown and Pease's perspective, certainly. Montana and Vaporizer, though, they're trying to look at that in terms of the tyres. They're thinking Verstappen, Campbell, you're in trouble. And Nathan and Russell potentially could be in trouble. And Nathan and Cucumber, Nathan and Russell. Nathan and Cucumber even could be in trouble. And therefore, on the medium compound tyres, the fresher mediums, Montana and Vaporizer will have about 10% less. So they're going to be very close towards the end. Very close towards the end of this race. F1 Sim Racing, by the way, if you do want an update on that and how that has been going out on track, I will check in just a second as Campbell's through and Verstappen still there for 3rd. Lap 28 out of 29. They're about to go on the final lap of the race. Thomas Ronhaar leads the way by 6.4 seconds, taking the Cameron Downs approach, it seems, in Division 2 of WOR. Jan Watme is 2nd, Nicholas Longay in 3rd. About to go on the final lap. They are on the final lap of the race right now. And we are still got around about 5 laps to go here in Liga Europe. So that race is going to be finished before we are So I'll inform you of the result in a second. I've got that up on the right-hand side of me just for Schewers. Montana now looks on the back of Verstappen. The tyre's going off the cliff. Makes the 2 for 1 to the inside on, and Campbell. Forceful for Montana. Verstappen now through into 4th, and Campbell is going to be remonstrating like an angry Scotsman on a Saturday night. Right there. Campbell now is behind Montana, and Vaporizer is now hunting on the back as well. NSX and QVR having their private squabbles, let's just say. Final lap of the race, though, out on track in F1 Sim Race. I wish I could tell you the interval timings, but I can't. Vaporizers, though, getting the job done on the back of Campbell in towards turn number 11. Trying to get the job done, and he does. Nathan now on the back of Cucumber. Is he going to get the job done? Beautiful in terms of EOS usage, getting the job done to the inside line. 4.5 laps to go, and Nathan hits the front. Everything will change, though, between now and the race end. Put it this way, everything will change, especially Montana now leading the pack and on 2-lap pressure tyres behind. Could he still not be discounted for the race win? I might have done him in a little bit earlier on by saying he's got absolutely no chance and didn't know what they were doing. But Montana there in 3rd, doing a fantastic job. Thomas Ronhar, by the way, has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. Jarno Opmeer, I think, is 2nd, and Nicholas Longue there in 3rd. Not sure what is happening with the direction. Thomas Ronhar definitely seeming happy, though, with his race win for one of F1 Sim Racing. And that will shut the critics up in terms of a Thomas Ronhar performance masterclass like that. As Vaporizer tries to put on masterclass around the outside of Verstappen through turn number 1. Fresher medium compound tyres, fresher car, beautiful stuff from Vaporizer. Job done, he's through, he's into 4th, and Sweetground is making relentless progress through the field as well. No pun intended, because he was formerly part of Relentless, and Sweetground now through, and he's into 7th. So the soft compound tyre is going to be much fresher towards the end. Going to be interesting to see how they cope on in terms of the tyres. But Thomas Ronhar taking provisionally the first win in F1 Sim Racing. As I say, that will shut up the critics, quite literally. In terms of the race, a phenomenal race win from the Alfa Romeo F1 Esports drivers. Now, speaking of Alfa Romeo, here's Cucumber on the back of Nathan. What about that? For a little bit of a switch in. Cucumber now into the lead. Nathan there in 2nd. And there was an Alfa Romeo Mercedes 1-2 in terms of the racing there, out on track in F1 Esports. So, let's repeat it again. Albeit with 2 slightly lesser known drivers, but let's repeat it again with 3 laps to go. Out on track, Cucumber leads, Nathan 2nd, Montana there in 3rd, and I fear with Montana in 3rd, 2.5 seconds is a big gap now to make up. I think. I hope. Cucumber though leads on to the final 3 laps of the race here in Austin, Texas. As I say, there's going to be no interviews tonight. I'm going to hot-foot to Division 4 straight after this to get in the lobby and get everything set up on my end as well in terms of recording the races. But Cucumber leading the way. Nathan there in 2nd, Montana there in 3rd. This strategically has been a very, very interesting race, and it seemed to me the earlier you put it in, the more advantage you have, and the more undercut you would have towards the end. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Cucumber and Nathan right now. Montana 2.3 seconds behind, 37% of EOS. If I was him, I'd use this up right now down the straight, because he's got literally one hope to try and catch, as Nathan has just picked up a 3-second penalty. Nathan has just picked up a 3-second penalty, I think coming out of turn number 9, and that's unfortunate for him. Montana now potentially on for P2. Could even be on for the race win if these two would have fight very aggressively. But Nathan back through into the front. Cucumber there in 2nd. Montana there in 3rd. Again, strategically a fascinating race here in League of Europe. I really hope you've enjoyed this, by the way. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. The look of the safety car might have run out, but the look here really going to be had. Who has got the look of the Americans out on track rather than the look of the Irish? Go there already down in P14, certainly providing none. Nathan there leading the way, though, on to the final 2 laps of the race. But for how long can he keep Cucumber at bay? Cucumber now recognises he's got that 3-second penalty, doesn't need to do anything. As it stands right now, Cucumber in 2nd, Montana 3rd. it would mean Cucumber only gains 3 points towards the end. Swip there just inviting me to the lobby for Division 4, and I will get into that as soon as this race is finished. So apologies about the black screen coming up there. But Nathan leading the way, Cucumber in second, Montana there in third. Montana's 2 seconds off. He is closing. He is closing on the back. It might not be done with just yet. Never discount out a 4-time League of Europe Division 1 champion. Put it that way. Or 5-time League of Europe Division 1 champion. Nathan, though, leading the way. From Cucumber there in second. Montana there in third. Vaporizer there in fourth. Who now come through on board. On board with Cucumber. Retaking the race lead off the back of Nathan. Job done for him. And now, because the gap is going out, Montana has got to recognise the threat from in front rather than behind, because Vaporizer can't really fight him. He's got that 3-second penalty as well. Campbell and Verstappen are the ones that's going to gain, but they're now having their ball fight for 5th and 6th, and Campbell is through on Verstappen, down in towards turn 12. About to go on the final tour of the Circuit of the Americas here for tonight, here for Division 1. Division 3 also coming to an end as well. Division 2 and Division 4 at 10 past 8 UK time if you do want to catch that. But Cucumber leading the way as it stands. It's going to be a 10-point gain over Montana. If it stays as it is and Montana gets second, 7-point gain, and the gap's down to 10. With that fastest lap, though, remember, taken by Montana with a 34.1. Gary's got on a fresh set. He wants to try and steal that fastest lap. He's there in 14th, and he's going to have to try and do something to try and get rid of Montana. And there is Montana there in third. Vaporizer there in fourth. Gary, by the way, is ahead of these guys out on track, so not going to be interfering with this race end. The Cucumber leading the way. Nathan there in second. Normally does very well around this track at Circuit of the Americas. Tonight has been no exception in the Mercedes, and now he's going to try and close in, but Cucumber's got 7% more VRS going on to the back straight. It's 1 kilometre straight down the straight in towards turn 12, and Cucumber, I think, might just have this in the bag. He's early with the EOS though, Nathan. He's going to come running at him down the straight, but I think he knows, I think we all know what his fate is, and it's going to be a P3 for Nathan out on track, it seems, as Cucumber leads the way once again in towards turn 12. Nathan there in second, Montana there in third. Cucumber's driven this race fantastically well. It was the case, oh, as Nathan has run off. Nathan has run off there, coming through turn 13. He's gone very deep there, and now that might go his chance. Potentially, has he got a puncture on the car? He hasn't. He hasn't got a puncture, but his tyres are definitely going. Nathan's in trouble. Nathan is in complete trouble, and here comes Montana to the outside line in towards turn 18. Now through 19, in towards turn 20. Cucumber now to the line, will take the race win. He's there somewhere, there he is to the line. Nathan's going to hang on for second, but Montana gets there in the end in second. Campbell, as a result of that mistake, gets third. Nathan there in fourth. What on earth happened to Nathan there? Going into turn 13, I need to rewind that back. Did he just go purely too deep? He did, he went way too deep into the corner. He had a snap coming through mid-corner. That's his own doing there from Nathan. Unfortunate, and he loses out on the podium as a result. Drama late on in the American Grand Prix. But it's Cucumber who takes the win. Montana there in second, Campbell there in third, and Nathan in the end ending up bottling his P3 finish by 0.4 of a second to his own teammate. Nathan's going to be livid. Campbell's not, because Campbell, after getting forced up by Montana, probably thinking, why on earth have I ended up in this situation? Fantastic race though. Cucumber wins, Montana there in second, Campbell there in third. My prediction was right on track at Lee Say's Alp, and it was. I did say Montana for the win, and he finished second, so it wasn't too bad at all from his perspective. Gary, by the way, is coming through the final couple of corners. He's 6.5 tenths up on his lap, looking to try and get through as he now comes through the left-hander of turn 14. We'll see what Gary can do out on track. Can he steal this fastest lap from Montana to 34.1? Gary to the line, steals the fastest lap point, and Montana will go down to 8 points. Thank you very much, by the way, for saying that I've got a gay voice. I hope you really want to try and step into my shoes next week, because I'm not going to be here. So luckily for you and your ears, you can actually listen to somebody else next week, instead of trying to outschool me in terms of the comments. Don't like it, do you, when you get spoken back to? But anyways, Out on track, fantastic race win for Cucumber, who takes the race win. He closes that gap up. Montana there in second, Nathan there in third. A fantastic race from him. The Canadian out on top from the Swissman in second, and the Scotsman there in third. We will run through because I've got to hot foot it right now. Cucumber taking that race win from Montana there in second, Campbell there in third, then Nathan there in fourth, Verstappen in fifth, Speedfan in sixth, then Vaporizer in seventh, Peter in eighth, then is at the ninth, Slash ran off the top 10, Felipe in 11th, Matthias there in 12th, Spine, Gary and Creco rounding off the top 15. Creco, of course, retiring early on in the race. But Cucumber wins, Montana second, Campbell in third. No interviews tonight, but we will get going. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.